everyone, it's Jan Boers and it's a Humans of Eurovision show today. So if you like this show, please subscribe to the channel, share and like the video. Because today I'm going to talk with Stig Karlsen from Norway, the head of delegation and the main producer of the MGP 2021 show, which we all love, and it's just before the finals, but we're not going to talk just about it. We're going to talk about the philosophy behind how they mix music together, the style, how it's influential towards the music industry, and many, many more. So let's check it out. It's Stig Karlsen. Hey Stig, how are you doing today? Hey, it's great to see you again.
Hi. Awesome. You know, it's so great, that we'll be able to do this production, the big Melodi Grand Prix, in a year like this. People need something to, get the thoughts away from, all the health issues and all their thinking about, the future and the jobs and everything. So we're happy to make this, awesome big music show in Norway for the audience. There's no theater, there's no concerts, there's nothing to do, so everybody should just stay at home and we'll give them a show, through the television.
Yeah, basically the culture in general is killed here as well, probably in most of the countries in Europe or maybe even in the world. How responsible do you feel then when you have this opportunity to do it in such a big production you have?
It is the most important TV show we've done, Melodi Grand Prix this year. It's more important than ever because people need something to remind them that it's weekend and that it's, that life is good and that we are connected even though we don't get to go out and see each other. So I think it's more important than ever that we make a great show for the people.
How important it is for artists as well, because for them it should be a great opportunity too.
Yeah, they don't have a stage. They have no, it's impossible for them to go on tour. It is, this is the thing. They can meet their audience through this television show, and that is great that we can offer 26 artists and songwriters this opportunity.
Yeah, how many artists did you have to decline anyway? Because to 26 it's a lot of artists, but probably the pressure on you on how many you received. How does it say? Well, you received probably a lot of songs and a lot of artists wanted to take part, but you took only 26. So
yeah, it's always around around 1,000. But of course there's a lot of people who are, not professional. So, but it's important for us to listen to everybody because they brought their song and they brought their heart, with the song, and it's important for us to listen to everything. But not all those 1,000 songs are great, I have to say. Sorry. So.
yeah, I know that. We know that all.
Yeah, we went through a lot of songs, but. I'm really proud of these 26 artists. We don't want to put great artists and songs on there. There should be also songs, that reach a broad audience. There should be something for you. There should be something for the teenagers. There should be something for the elder people. So that's the way it is.
Yeah, I wanted to ask this question about kind of a philosophy you have towards the Melodi Grand Prix, the Eurovision, or the whatever the song selection. How much is this television factor important to you, or do you prefer the quality factor of the music, or kind of combination?
It is a combination because you have to have a great song, you have to be a great artist. But of course you have sophisticated, great pop songs that are, really well for radio and that everybody wants to listen to. And then you have artists who are more about, delivering a show together with the music. And that is sort of quality as well. So it has to be quality, but quality can be a lot of things. So I think it's important to bring on great music, music that can last for years and that can win Eurovision, but you also have to bring on stuff that really entertains people and get people to talk and discuss and be, engaged into the music show. And it is a television show, and music to me is not just sound waves. Music is what the artist is able to, the way that the artist can connect with the audience. And so music is also visual, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you, kind of, because I'm asking this question for many, many people, because this is my favorite topic as how to do television and TV production all together, because I always found that if you select something which into whatever competition, whatever it's strictly come Dancing with the Stars show, or Melody Grand Prix kind of show, this national selection, that if you select something which is funny but kind of weak, it still can win, and isn't it risky?
All the power is to the people. The people decides, and I think people have how should I don't want to underestimate the people. The people know what to send to Eurovision, so I'm totally fine with it. And if it gets the most votes, then it deserves to be there.
Yeah, but I'm asking that specifically because you have this responsibility for what you will choose to show to the people. So you actually the first instance of a power, actually. And I'm asking if because you have this power to find a direction which Norway will go into, not just Eurovision probably, but maybe even the whole Eurovision way of its future. Maybe one decision can really make it. I believe in it. So you're a very influential person, actually, or your team is very influential in that. So that's why I'm asking it, because I see that in your selection, it's a lot of diversity this year, but as well a lot of quality from different genres. How hard it was for you to reach this point?
Our responsibility is divided in a way. We have to entertain the Norwegian audience and the European audience, and we have to find that one song that can win the Eurovision. So we have to do both. And I think it is about finding great songs and finding great artists, but they can be great in so many different ways. And then it's up to the audience to decide who they want. But of course, it all starts with the song. It all starts with the artist. But some artists just sitting on the stage with a piano, and that's all you need. And sometimes it's great to have some crazy character out there doing his or her thing.
Yeah, and you're helping it a lot with this, because that's my opinion on Norway in general, and I was there watching it, overseeing it, and after it I was watching it every year, fascinate me, inspiring me a lot, because that's the scale of the show. It's kind of a scale that we can do here as well if we just do such a thing. I think Melody Festival, and it's just another kind of big level of the scale. I wouldn't say the quality. I think that's really almost the same thing. Depends on songs, of course. But the thing is that you're focusing a lot on stagings as well, as you actually said right now. How important this is for you, and how much time it takes for you to prepare all of it?
It is a television show, so I think it's important to, bring that element to the audience as well. Otherwise, we could send it on radio. And I think it's the same thing with Eurovision Song Contest. It is called Vision, it is a TV show. So we just have to find the balance between bringing, sophisticated, great songs that has that quality musicianship with it, and a big, great show. And I think why not both?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Like there are many ways how to do it, and I really think that Eurovision even became not just the clash of songs, but as well us as producers of different kind of approaches and philosophy towards their acts and music, and I think that's very inspiring, and I think it keeps Eurovision to grow forward, you know, in a way, which I'm glad that it's happening and they re-inspire each other this way. But I'm curious about how your concept is helping the television to attract even younger audience. How do you do it? Because you do.
Yeah, we do really well in the younger audience, and it is about, you know, making sure that you have, you know, young artists, modern music. It's about, you know, they have to, you know, recognize themselves in what they see. They have to see younger people on screen, and it's about, you know, moving forward. We can always, you know, do the show that we've always done, but I think it's really important that we push ourselves to make it relevant and going forward. So that's the way Melodi Grand Prix and Eurovision are going to survive, you know, always keeping the soul of everything, keeping the history, but then also being, you know, dare enough to go forward.
In which state do you think Eurovision is nowadays?
Yeah, I think so. I think they've done an amazing job to, you know, bring Eurovision to the future.
Yeah, and we'll see what Corona will bring. Maybe even more future. But you're a bit futuristic. Futuristic, is that a word in Norway? With the online voting, which I'm really like talking a lot about. The big Eurovision should have it already. What's the results of it? How are you satisfied with the decision?
Well, last year it didn't go too well. I don't know if you
Yeah, I know that. But
if you heard this, but we had a big voting scandal. But we're using actually the same system this year around. But it is, you know, they have fixed and they have gone through everything. So it is faster. It gives more opportunities for people to interact. So it is much better, and it's free. So you don't have to pay anything. And you know, if it's based on that you have to pay, then you can get people with a thick wallet winning. This is better for a fair competition.
yeah, I do see that on number of votes received that even more people are voting. I'm just curious.
The numbers are great, but it is limited to 3 votes. Yeah, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, and do you see even this cross-generation voting, like each generation actually votes? Can you see those? That it really makes sense to implement such a thing, or would you go back to SMS or televote?
This is the future. So this is the way to go. But we do have like a backup system, which is the old SMS system going as well. But we don't use it. That's only if, you know, if the internet goes down. So I think there's so many possibilities using, you know, online voting, and you can bring a lot of cool stuff in there to have people interact while watching. So it's going to be more of that. At the same time, you have to find the balance between, you know, keeping people focused on what's happening on the big screen. So we just have to find that balance between being able to interact and watching the television show.
Yeah, about the show, back to the show itself, as for the first time you do it without the audience, isn't it right?
Yeah, it's the first time, and it is, of course, because of the pandemic. That's the way we do it, why we do it without the audience. So
yeah, my question is how hard is for you to make the stagings and work with artists without the audience? As I've overseen all of those shows already, you have just before finals, and sometimes I see that the audience, it's very, very missing at some point of the energy or whatever. I don't know how to describe it actually, because it's an untouchable thing. But how do you see it's a problem, and how do you see it's a problem for a big Eurovision as well?
We all want to go back to filling big arenas and having, we all miss that. But at the same time, I think we did quite well with this, because we have the audience with us from at home, so you can actually see them cheering, being happy. So that was important for us to bring the audience in, and then also have a sound design with the sound of the audience. So I think as a television program, it actually works very well. You get that kind of reaction after the songs that you usually do when you're at the arena. But of course, we want to get back to that big scale show at an arena. But I think we done pretty well with the way that we did this year.
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't say that you don't. I really admire that you even like I mean it. That's awesome work. But I really can imagine how hard it is as well, because you don't have this instant feedback kind of. But how hard it is for artists? Do you see some favorites or musicians who didn't make it to the final, that they kind of suffered because of this? Because I can feel that some artists, they really need this kind of energy from the audience, and then they're lacking of power somehow without them.
I think it's it is difficult for all the artists. You want that instant feedback from the audience. That's the way it is. But I tell all the artists, remember, the audience is out there. Almost 1 million people are watching. And we also put like an audience sound into the arena actually. So when you're on stage, you're going to get people cheering after a song. And I think that illusion is great as well, because you're looking into a dark hall and you get a feeling that there's people there actually from hearing them.
Yeah, how many people are working on those stagings and stage ongoing? Do you have any limit?
We have, everybody involved on all levels are about 130 right now. It is a bit bigger when we do a regular show at an arena, of course, but it's about 130 people involved with Melodi Grand Prix this year.
What about the live on tape thing you had to do with the winner? Will it be just right after the winning, or you will just do it separately? Do you already have a plan for it?
Yeah, absolutely. We're doing the final on the 20th of February. Then we have a winner. And then we have Sunday to prepare the live on tape recording. And then we do it on Monday. So on the 22nd of February, we have the live on tape, which I hope we don't need to use, because everybody wants to go to Rotterdam and do this for real. But I think it's a clever idea to do the live on tape thing, so we can make sure that Eurovision is happening no matter what.
Yeah, that should happen, and it must happen, and it will happen, even with this live on tape system kind of. But what kind of chances are you giving? Would you like to predict something like that? How would you, as a producer, decide?
You can, if you look around, you can see in the sports world, they're doing championships, they're doing stuff. And I hope we can do this for music as well, because this is the Olympics for music, right? So, and I think the people at EBU and at the Netherlands broadcaster, they did a great job to get this happening. So I think we'll be there, but of course it will be a bit different.
Yeah, it's a bit sad that lots of artists will lose their chance to find out what the Eurovision, like the normal Eurovision, whenever it will maybe never get back this way, we never know. But they will never find out the whole festival thing going on all around. But that's how it is, and I think it's very important to have Eurovision as a competition. And speaking of competition, I'm really curious of your opinion how the competition of music or across or among the countries change over the years from like last 5 years. Do you see that the competition is just risen up?
I think it's much harder, actually. I think people are really into, winning this thing. And, it is a competition about having the greatest song and the greatest artist, but it is a competition between the broadcasters as well. So all the broadcasters are really eager to win this and bring, the biggest music show in the world to their home, to their home country. So I think we want to win. Everybody wants to win.
Yeah, I wouldn't say everybody wants to win, but I like the attitude of the countries who are not afraid to say we want to win, whether it's possible or not. Because like people have to understand that we are deciding the songs much in advance, and you never know what the competition will bring, so you can't react actually on it and focus only on what you do. But if you're just overseeing like countries who are on the rise, like Baltic countries or Czech Republic, do you feel they are the competition for you, and does it motivate you to do kind of better job, if it can be said like this?
I think you did a great job being a part of this. I think those years when you were involved, that was great. I think Czech Republic have done really well in the last few years.
Yeah, it will do great. But my question was more about how you see at those countries like Czech Republic, as well Baltic countries. I think they're starting to doing a great job, or other smaller countries or the size of inhabitants like Norway doing it, are doing better and better job each year. So how do you see this a competition too of even maybe different styles of music as well?
It's, if you look at the winners from the last few years, there's all kinds of artists. There's artists singing in their home language, and everybody can do this. And I'm very impressed with Bulgaria. They've done really well over the last years, and it wasn't always like that. So I think all the 41 countries has a fair chance to win this. I think the competition is great.
Yeah, how would you influence the other countries who are maybe thinking of making a national selection like you do, kind of, or the countries who are doing internal maybe, but would you influence them? Just how essential actually for countries can be national selection? Do you think all the countries should do it?
I think everybody should do it because it is something that people can, it is a big party, and I think every country can bring, this music celebration to their, to their people in their country. So I think everybody should do this.
Yeah, do you feel that the Melody Grand Prix and national selections in general are influential to the music industry itself?
It is, but of course the people in the music industry has a clear idea of what they want to do, and a lot of artists think this concept is really great, and then you also have artists who don't like to compete, doing music and be in a competition like this, and that's fair too.
Yeah, you decided this year to have like automatic finalists in the national selection, and then you have a lot of other artists who has to go through semifinals or heats or however you call it. Do you see this year that a lot of good songs are actually not killed? I wouldn't say that, but that you have such a good like lineup this year that a lot of songs won't make it to the finals. How pity is that?
Yeah, and it's sad, but that's the format. You're having 26 songs, and there'll be 12 in the finals, and then you're gonna have one artist and song going to Eurovision. So that's just the way the format is, and it is very exciting. And I hear everybody are like, "Oh, my favorite went out," and being sad. But the good thing is that we have this second chance thing going on. So on Monday they get to vote one of the artists who went out, they get to vote in again. So that is a cool thing.
Do you think that the artists from the second chance actually stand a chance in the big final?
I think. You know, some songs needs to be heard a couple of times before it gets to people. And you can look at some of the other national finals who have done the same thing. I think Sweden a couple of times actually had artists in the second chance competition that had actually won the whole Melody Festival. So it is possible to, you know, being the one that didn't go through, but then again you win the whole thing. So I think everything is possible.
Speaking of Melody Festival, how big rival it is for you?
There's always been a competition between Sweden and Norway, and you know, Sweden is a country to look up to when it comes to pop music and when it comes to Melody Festival. I think they've done a great job building Melody Festival over many years now. But the great thing is that I can also see that they steal some ideas from us as well. So we are inspired by them and they get inspired by us. But it's a healthy competition, it's a fun competition, and eventually we'll bring them down, maybe this year.
Yeah, we'll see about it. I never know because, you know, for me, Eurovision starting to be very unpredictable, kind of. Of course, I have my opinion, you have your opinion about who can win or whatever. And of course, we probably sometimes lie to ourselves that our song is the best one, even we probably know that it's not true, kind of, sometimes. But I'm really curious how it's going to happen. I just wanted to ask one last thing, and that's what are the plans for 2022, because you probably have something in mind already.
Absolutely. I can't tell you everything, but we want to get back to a big arena, of course. And we're looking at different possibilities, but we really liked it last year when we were in Trondheim Spectrum, which is an amazing arena. And it was sold out, 8,500 people. And that might be a place we'll go back to. I don't want to confirm this now, but we're looking into it.
Yeah, I'm curious about your thoughts as well as 2022. Do you think that the format will still or stay the same completely, or you already know that you would like to do something differently, and why?
You know, we take 1 year at a time, and when we're finished with the national final, then we sit down and then we go back and look at the last year, and then we figure it out. It's too soon.
I'm asking from my perspective, where I needed to make plans for like more wider perspective to make a solid grounds for the artists, so but that they already have. How actually this is important for you to have such how prestigious actually MGP is in Norway? Is it a prestigious format, or it's more like fun entertainment show?
Oh no, it is a big deal, you know. Different people will probably look at it differently, but of course everything that's gathered 1 million people is big, it's huge, and especially for a country with only 5 million people, so it is a big thing, and we're serious about it, and the artists are serious about it, the songwriters, everybody. So we don't do this. We don't get onto this job lightly. It is very important for us.
I said one last thing, but actually I just got one more thing on my mind, and that's the songs from this national selection. Lots of them actually, I feel a lot like a huge American influence, like more than usual, I would say. Do you think this is a trend, and do you think that as well the American Song Contest, which is being prepared, can bring another layer of competition to the European brother, sister, whatever?
Yeah, I think we're going to end up with the world, would it be the World Song Contest, maybe?
World Vision Contest?
World Vision Song Contest. And you know, they're talking about your Asian Wish.
Yeah, this is a bit funny, yeah.
Asian Vision Song Contest. We're so used to say Eurovision Song Contest. It could be fun. Let's see what's happening in the future.
Yeah, let's see what's going to happen in the future. I wish you the best possible future, Stig.
Thank you, Jan. It was awesome talking to you. Always.
Yeah, it was always fun. But thank you very much for this nice interview.
Thank you. We'll speak again.
And it was Stig Karlsen. How did you like his answers? How did you like my questions? Please let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, ring the bell, do this routine if you haven't done it yet, and I see you next time in the next video. See you later. Bye.